Some news now coming in from Tamil Nadu, where we are understanding you have Sasikala making yet another political statement. Just look at the visuals that we're going to put out on our screens. This time around, you have Sasikala, who's leading a march along with his supporters to the Jaya Memorial in Chennai. Just look at those visuals on your screens. For the longest time, this has been a fight of legacy. Who can claim legacy? As far as Jayalalithaa is concerned, you now have VK Sasikala making another political statement where you can see her marching with her supporters to the Jaya Memorial in Chennai. What really is happening? Let me bring in my colleague Mugilan, who's joining us on the broadcast. Mugilan, not the first time that we are seeing a spectacle or a political statement like this being made, but what is the rationale behind this march by Sasikala?
Definitely, as you rightly pointed out, we continue to see every year on this particular date during Jayalalitha's anniversary. We have seen the factions taking a march towards Jayalalitha's memorial and offering their respect. But this year, we are seeing there are four splits in ADMK from 9:30 in the morning. We have seen EPS followed by OPS, and now we are seeing TTV Dinakaran and Sasikala making their way to Jayalalitha's memorial to offer their respect. Yes, as you rightly points out, this has to be seen as a show of strength for OPS, for TTV Dinakaran and for Sasikala. But even though we are seeing the party has very strongly rallied behind the EPS, because when EPS visited the Jayalalitha's memorial, we have seen the entire ADMK top brass, and there was a huge crowd, that is a huge ADMK crowd, turned up when EPS was there at the memorial. And then, yes, we saw OPS also marching towards the memorial. There was a crowd. Now TTV and Sasikala followed. Everyone are moving towards Jayalalitha's memorial. But yes, this is just to portray that there are ADMK cadres who are standing in support of these three leaders, but the majority of the cadres and the functionaries are sticking strong with EPS, even though this is seen as an attempt to show their strength, but on ground, on reality, nothing has related.
You know, Mugilan, what I essentially want to understand, even as we see those pictures, a show of strength by Sasikala as she walks towards Jaya Memorial on the 6th death anniversary of Amma, the question that is being raised by many is that do players like TTV and Sasikala still have a hold on the ground? Just a few days ago, we had seen a comment by TTV where he said the cadre is not impressed with the work that is being done by the likes of EPS and others, and they're actually disillusioned. So all of this, of course, is seen with a political intent that is a comeback in store. But again, the larger question that even though you see the sea of supporters on the ground today, can that actually translate into something larger by Sasikala?
We have seen over the years, we have seen similar kind of rallied by Sasikala and TTV Dinakaran also, but as I said earlier, that has never translated anything meaningful when it comes to leadership, because as I said earlier, the entire ADMK top brass and the majority of the cadres are standing in support with EPS. So even now we have seen a situation where even OPS has been out from the party. So the entire leadership and the cadres are behind EPS. Even though Sasikala claims that she's fighting to retrieve ADMK, we have even seen TTV Dinakaran saying the same, that Correct. They are fighting to retrieve ADMK and bring back Jayalalitha's rule. Nothing has transpired on ground really. Yes, they enjoy support in select pockets. In southern districts, yes, TTV Dinakaran and Sasikala have a considerable considerable percentage of supporters, but that has not affected ADMK in a large perspective.
Okay, Mugilan, I'll just request you to stay on with us. We also have political analyst Sumansi Raman also now joining us on the broadcast. Sumant, always a pleasure speaking to you. How do you see these visuals coming in from Chennai? Because every time you have Sasikala out on the ground, even though you see a sea of supporters around her, the larger question that is raised every single time, can she actually make a real impact? Is she still a player?
No, I think the only place where she is making an impact is on the media. On the ground, it has been established multiple times. It's not just one election or whatever. It's been established multiple times that she does not, enjoy a huge following. So, I don't know who benefits from these attempts to keep her as politically relevant. But for all practical purposes, one can say that, her affiliated party, if one could call it that, the AMMK, though she may claim to be part of the ADMK or whatever, is hardly has any significant vote share beyond about 10 to 15 constituencies where they may have members of their community. So I don't see her as a political force. Obviously, Jayalalitha's anniversary is an important day for her to claim some kind of political relevance, and that is what she is doing. But politically, I don't see her as a force.
Sumat, what I want to understand, and this is an interesting point that you're also making, every single year we actually see similar pictures emerge out of Chennai, where of course the idea is that these political leaders want to touch upon that emotive note of that fight for legacy as far as Amma is concerned. But for how long can that have a relevance on the ground? Do you think voters on the ground, people on the ground, still will get played by the emotive card as fight for legacy of Amma, or will they still want real issues to be spoken about?
Yeah, if they keep squabbling like this amongst themselves, that legacy will go away to BJP. So I think the AIDMK has already a weakened political party in the last 3-4 years after the demise of Ms. Jayalalithaa, and now it's sort of split into 3 different factions. Even though the vast overwhelming majority of the party is with Mr. Edappadi Palaniswamy, the former Chief Minister. But if they keep squabbling like this, the vote share of the AIDMK has already dwindled, and the BJP is eating away at that vote share, every month after month. So there may not be much of a legacy if this goes on in the AIDMK for another couple of years.